What's up and welcome back. We are going to be talking about FromSoftware's new PS5 exclusive. More details on that. We're going to be talking about Abandon and how it is not Silent Hill or Metal Gear Solid, and this pretty much solidifies and debunks the entire rumor that's been happening for a while now. We're going to be talking about Twisted Metal getting a revival and some proof of that possibly happening, and also we'll be talking about The Last of Us Part 2 and a Battle Royale possibly happening there as well. Now, let's get right into this FromSoftware rumor, right? There's a lot going around on FromSoftware. We talked about it before, but there are more people coming out and speaking out about this. Now, this comes from TGP, titled FromSoftware new PS5 exclusive IP is reportedly more Souls-like than it is Elden Ring / Sekiro. Now, during the latest episode of the Xbox Era podcast, Nick, co-host of the podcast, and a reputable leaker revealed some more details about the PS5 exclusive, saying that Hidetaka Miyazaki, creator of the Souls game, is on this project. Quote, deal-wise, it's pretty much identical to Bloodborne and Demon's Souls, as in Sony owns the IP, but it's made together with obviously FromSoftware and Sony XDev Japan, which is former Sony Japan studio. Miyazaki is on it. It is not Bloodborne, it is not Demon's Souls, it's an entirely new IP and apparently has no connection to the former two games. It's believed, I think, the PS5 exclusive is more Souls-like than it is Elden Ring and Sekiro. Now, very, very interesting news. Obviously, this is a pretty big deal. We've been wanting a new FromSoftware game outside of Elden Ring. We've been wanting Elden Ring for a long time. We just haven't got it yet, but we're talking about this FromSoftware game that a lot of us are excited for that is rumored so far, right? We don't even know that it's real, but nonetheless, when you hear FromSoftware, you automatically get excited about what they could be working on. And especially when you hear about it's going to be more Souls-like than Elden Ring and Sekiro, it really gets you even more excited, especially as somebody who just played Demon's Souls, the remake, recently and really enjoyed it. I can't wait to see what they do again with a new game, a whole new IP. It doesn't surprise me that Sony would want to own the IP. That's kind of the norm for Sony. Usually if they publish a project, usually if they're involved in a project, they want to own the IP. In most cases, they end up owning the IP. There are very few cases, I can't even think of any off the top of my head, where they publish a game and they don't own any rights to it at all. Now, obviously, there are probably lots of projects out there, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. But that's where that sits right now. Very exciting news. I'll keep you guys updated as we hear more about that. But next up, I want to talk to you guys about this abandoned game. Look, we've been hearing tons about this. It's a big deal, you know. It's crazy, man. We've been talking about this a lot. And this comes from NME, and it's titled Abandoned Creator Hassan Karaman. It's not really a horror game. It's not what people think. Look, here's the thing, right? So we got this abandoned game, right, with so many rumors and conspiracy theories around it. People think it's MGS, it's Silent Hill, it's Hideo Kojima. It looks like that's not the case. So I've highlighted some key points here. So first, let's start off with where he says Abandon is a shooter/survival game, he told NME. It has some horror elements in it, but it's not really a horror game. It's not what people think, that it's Silent Hill. In fact, they say, we know exactly what it is. Hassan has gave us an exclusive rundown of Abandon, including plot details, how it plays, just about everything we could ever want to know. We can finally debunk those rumors. It's not a Silent Hill game. It's not Metal Gear. So this is coming from them. So Karaman insists that Hideo Kojima is not involved with Abandon. He says no. He said when asked directly, no, absolutely not, in regards to being asked if Kojima's involved. There you go. That's another time him saying it. Of course, you guys don't believe what he's saying anyway, so regardless of what he's saying, everybody kind of takes it in a different direction. And they talk about, you know, some stuff about with Kojima tweeting out things and people taking that into consideration, but, you know, it's neither here nor there. It goes on to say, it's been a really big disaster, admits Karaman. People are really disappointed when talking about the trailer app, and it's due to the whole thing being that, first of all, it was due out on Tuesday, didn't come out on Tuesday, and on top of that, when it did drop, it was the same piece of video footage that we've already seen that they posted to Twitter. So obviously, people were not happy about that. Now, lastly, he talks about how the team members of Blue Box feels. He says, team members of Blue Box and also freelancers we work with, they don't feel comfortable to show their faces right now, he revealed. It's not fun being labeled as a scammer, right? So yeah, that's the reason why people don't feel comfortable right now showing their faces or even publicly announcing that they are involved with Abandon. And you know what? That's actually pretty damn accurate. Tell you right now, that's probably not a good look for somebody who's working on a project, would want to go work at a different company, to be associated with something, that people are considering, scamming. Now, obviously, we don't know the situation. When are we going to see this game? But they talk a lot about how a lot of this stuff that's going to be revealed is coming soon. So soon, he even mentioned Gamescom. But the problem is he didn't want to give a date because it's been such a rocky, announcement of date, delayed, then another date, and then there's a problem with the app and all this stuff. So he's just scared to give any more dates because he doesn't want to disappoint people even further, because he feels one more disappointment and that's it. It's a wrap. There's no coming back from that. That's what he says in this article, in this interview. Lastly, he says, I'm really depressed right now. I can't sleep. I can't eat. The biggest thing that's bugging me is just that people are labeling us as scammers. That is the big thing that really, really hurts me, because that is not my intention at all, So here's the thing. Hassan is talking about how the intentions weren't there for people to be misguided. And unfortunately, now it's gotten to a point where everything that he's going to be saying is going to be taken in a different direction by conspiracy theorists and people who believe in this truly being a Kojima game. And they truly, genuinely, wholeheartedly believe that this is Silent Hill. They really do believe it. And no matter what he says at this point, it's going to be taken in that direction. The eye patch thing, it didn't matter. Although I personally feel that there were moments that Hassan leaned into these rumors. I from my perspective, reading this, and the first time he came out and said, hey, Kojima's not related, this is not Silent Hill, and then the tweets following, and then the artwork they showed, it almost was like, why even do that? That you're going to make people believe something when they're already questioning it all. It's just not a good way to go. So in my opinion, I feel they did lean into the rumors and the theories. And the reason for that is because it created hype for the game. It created interest. People were all over this. We've been talking about this for weeks, guys. You have to remember that. So people were all over this thinking that this is something big. This is Silent Hill. This is MGS, some people are saying. This is Kojima, right? So it got to a point where it got out of hand, and leaning into the rumors was the worst thing he could have done. Whether that was intentional or not, I can't speak on his intentions, but I can say what it appeared as from my perspective. I wish the best for this team. When the game drops, I will play it. I will give it a fair chance. I will give it a fair review, regardless of what's happened here. But I can't fault people for, going in that direction, because even I myself at some point felt like this could be Silent Hill because of everything that was happening. Obviously, shortly after what had happened, I really fell off the whole it's Silent Hill. In fact, after the teaser trailer, or what we had seen in the teaser app, right away, I said, there's no way. There's no way. This is so sloppy. There's no way Sony has any deal in this whatsoever. Obviously they have a deal with Blue Box Studios, but I don't think that it's on that level that people seem to think it is, and I definitely don't think Kojima's a part of it. I just don't. I could be wrong. We'll see in due time, but all the best to the studio, and that's all I really have to say about that. But let's move on to our next topic, because I'm sure we're going to be talking about that far into the future. As you guys all know, it's not something that's going to end anytime soon. Now, next up, we're talking about Twisted Metal Revival in 2023. Might very well be the real deal, and this comes from WCCF Tech. Very interesting piece of news. So, credible Battlefield and Call of Duty leaker Tom Henderson suggested that a new installment of the iconic series will be releasing in 2023. Following Henderson's tweet, Twisted Metal designer David Scott Jaffe said that he doesn't believe that Sony is indeed reviving the franchise, and that he would be very hurt if it does prove to be true. So essentially what he says, so I don't read this entire thing to you guys, is that he feels that he would have been talked to about it or asked for his input because of other games. He's been asked about how he feels and his input. And he's also been told about a lot of stuff that he's not supposed to know through friends. So he feels it's crazy that an IP that he was a part of, he has no idea about when he knows about all these other things that are happening in the industry. What makes this more interesting is VGC editor Andy Robinson has now taken to Twitter to suggest to have heard that the Twisted Metal revival might be happening after all. Quote, awkwardly, it's since been suggested to me that this is real, Robinson tweeted. So it seems that we have two sources saying this is happening. Then we have David Jaffe saying unlikely. And I totally understand why David Jaffe will feel that way, right? Like he's a part of these projects in their inception, so why wouldn't he be told about that? And very well, he could be. he could be told about that down the road, or maybe it's not really happening. But nonetheless, we'll never truly know until the time comes where this gets revealed, right? But if it's a 2023 title, I imagine that we're going to hear about it probably next year, if it's truly true that that's what they're working on. I am curious who could be working on this game, because they're surely not going to be putting Santa Monica Studio on this. I just don't see it. Based on the job listings that we've seen, this is not what it is, unless Twisted Metal is not going to be the game that it is from its roots, which is a battle arena racing fighter kind of game, you know? So I just don't see that happening. It's definitely not going to be Santa Monica Studio. It'll be somebody else. Not sure who, but nonetheless, it'll be interesting to see where they take this. Now, lastly, I wanted to talk to you guys about The Last of Us Part 2 and this possible battle royale that they're getting. I don't know how I feel about this rumor itself, but it's interesting nonetheless. So this comes from WCCF Tech, and basically this info comes courtesy of YouTuber Specializer, I'm going to say, who specializes in data mining The Last of Us. They managed to dig up an in-game map within The Last of Us 2, which shows a fairly large battle royale style arena. The original The Last of Us Factions multiplayer mode took place on smaller deathmatch style maps, so this represents a major change for Naughty Dog. Lastly, Specializer also found full 3D assets for some of these locations, including the motel, port, and gas station. Some of these locations seems to be at least partly lifted from the core single-player game. A number of other props were also uncovered, including a collar, meaning that those terrifying dogs may even be added to the multiplayer. It's an interesting thought. I don't know if they'll actually do a battle royale. Seems a little weird to see that in The Last of Us, but hey, I mean, they can probably pull it off. We're talking about Naughty Dog here. They're very good at creating games and creating good games nonetheless, so it's possible. I don't know how likely that is, but we do know that they're talking about this project that they're working on being super ambitious. So naturally, this could be a part of that, but I'm not hedging any bets. I'm just going to say, hey, or I'm not placing any bets. I'm just going to say, hey, this is a possibility based on what's found, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that. Obviously, we're going to get a multiplayer component. What that entails, we have no idea. We just know that it's going to be more ambitious than any multiplayer project that they've ever done. But that's all I have for you guys in today's video. I'd love to hear from you guys, as this is a lot of news. I want to hear what you guys think about this FromSoftware new PS5 exclusive IP that's happening. That's going to be more Souls-like than Elden Ring and Sekiro. What do you think of this abandoned topic with Hassan coming out and just trying to say, hey guys, listen to me, this is not Silent Hill, this is not Metal Gear, this is our own project that we're really working hard on, and we want you guys to give it a chance and enjoy this project. What do you think of Twisted Metal getting a revival in 2023? And lastly, would you want a battle royale in The Last of Us multiplayer? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you have not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. You can follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Links will be in the description. And share this video with a friend. I will talk to you all on the next one. Take care.